Happy Tuesday, everyone. Time for an update. Figured I'd start from a different angle this week. I show you our hummingbird feeder. Brings in a few. I've seen 3 or 4 of them this year. And I haven't shown you guys yet a couple more volunteer tomato plants over here. Not sure who brought the seed, but probably won't get any tomatoes out of those. We had one there last year and it didn't make any tomatoes. Here's the front bell pepper bed. It's doing okay. I just don't think I'll do this again. Maybe try to get some blueberries and plants in here. But there are peppers. And some starting. The volunteer tomato plant now has some tomatoes starting. Some more peppers. Branches are starting to break under the weight of the peppers. I have one in the back do that also. So that's kind of been a problem. Didn't really expect that to be a problem. As you can see, lots of peppers. This one, not so much. Maybe one will start. Got one back in there. Big pepper there. There's one down here. It's a nice sized one. Not really sure what that hole is on it, but can't be good. So that's the front pepper bed. Nothing's really changed on the raspberries, except the weeds are getting bigger. Asparagus is still looking good. Can't wait till next year and get this cleaned out and maybe actually get enough for a meal. It's a nice bunch down there. I'm surprised they get that fat. I know these are big eaters and I don't do anything to amend the soil, so. About to hit the sun. Don't know how it's going to look coming from this angle. The green onions fighting through the weeds, actually doing better than I thought. Hopefully get some keepers out of there. And the old green onion. Alright, nothing really happened in here. I had a couple beets, but they're gone. I don't know if something ate them or they died. And it doesn't look like anything else came up, so guess this was a flop. I could clean this up and put radishes. Maybe I'll do that. Got the carrots, still getting carrots. Not sure how long these last in there. If anybody knows, let me know how long I can keep them in the ground. We would just never eat this many, and I can't can them. So, thousands and thousands of lettuce seeds and carrot seeds. Don't know if I'll get any of those or not. Ivy's gone to flower, which can't be a good thing. It's so hard to, so much of this ivy everywhere. Got the peas. Peas are actually starting to do really well. It's supposed to cool off, so maybe it'll do super well. I think that's a big turnip in there. I don't know why that's all of a sudden starting to take off. The peas are looking good. A couple bell pepper plants here. This one's doing okay. Got plenty of peppers on it. Probably need to tie up this branch before it breaks. Some there. These are doing really well. Well, in the back, not so much, but it's okay. Cucumber plant's pretty much done for. Okay, and then Scarlet runner bean. The rest of the garden, just give you a quick look at it from afar. Still not getting many Scarlet runner beans. A few here and there, but not nearly as much as you would expect. I don't know them. Brings in the hummingbirds, looks pretty, grows well. Try it again next year and then be done with it. The raspberries are doing very well this year. It's getting a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch under there. Looks like the bees enjoy them. I've got a bell pepper turning them red here. The yellow bell pepper plant's completely dead. Don't know what happened to that. It's the only one I had that wasn't red. Pulling off a bunch of Kentucky green beans. Not sure how to cook them, but I'll YouTube it, find something. It's doing pretty well. Harvested the gherkins yesterday. I missed a couple there. I'll do this again for sure. This is a hardy plant. Very productive. Tastes good, easy to pack. The green beans. Some of them are actually coming back to life a little bit, but I don't know, I'll get enough to make it worth it. Underneath all these gherkins, you can see it back there or not, there's a butternut squash. A couple more gherkins there. I should have picked those yesterday too. Got a butternut there. A whole bunch of green beans there. Okay, got my lima beans. Harvested some of those yesterday, but it's not a very productive plant as much as I'd like to have them. Just don't know that this plant's worth growing again. Got the habaneros. Hopefully at least one of them makes it to be overwintered. A mystery vine here. Not sure where that tomato plant's coming from. I guess from this volunteer tomato plant, which is doing pretty well. Nice cherry tomato, and actually doesn't split. Tastes good. That was a winner. Couple more butternut. Kind of all over the place here today. Okay, so I got 2 pots. One was lettuce, one was spinach. One came up, the other has not yet, so we'll see. Another volunteer tomato plant. Hasn't put anything on. Okay, the pepper plants over here aren't really putting a whole lot of peppers on anymore, and I kind of blame the tomatoes for shading them out, but there's still some. Put on a few more. Now the beefsteak tomatoes are very productive this year. More productive than I've ever had before. They're just not getting big. When you dig in all over the place, they're all over the place here. Some down there. The cherry tomatoes are doing amazing. Like I said, this is from Texas Roadhouse. We brought a tomato home and got them started, and I guess this is why whoever sells them grows them, because they're so productive. Just the amount of tomatoes is incredible. And they're very hardy. They don't split. They're very solid. Taste is okay, but I'll take them. Let's see, over here, I mean, just look at all these flowers. There's so many of them. Can't imagine those are all going to turn into tomatoes, but if even half of them do. You see them big tomatoes down there. Some cherry tomatoes. Been harvesting some. Get some red. And you also see the yellow flowers down in there. Trying to keep up with those. Just look how big this is when the deer don't tear it up. just keeps growing. Something I'd love to do differently is give these a space and protection next year to grow. Hey, look how far this one's growing out from. It starts here and it comes from somewhere in there. So, very happy with those. The jalapeno plant is just going crazy. There's so many. Look at all those. I don't think I've ever had. Oh, there's a red one down here. I missed this guy. It's pretty cool. I got all these jalapenos. And on the other side, there's just so many of them. Not complaining. Got the milkweed. Still got the big old pods. Actually, it looks like there's some milk leaking out of them. And the yellow squash just keeps on keeping on. I mean, look how many are already on there. I harvested 4 or 5 yesterday. Just keeps making more. Grass is starting to grow into it, and it's still going. And finally, compost bins, weed pile, and the kale. Kale's okay this year. I guess it'll be better when it cools down a little bit. Need to get the weeds out of it. And let's see how it's growing. Almost looks like broccoli. Anyway, that's what I got going on this week. This maple tree is just gonna have to come down. Looks like something's been nibbling on it. Fine with me. Alrighty, that's really all I got this week, guys. Not a whole lot's going on, so I guess I will talk to everybody next week.